Hello students, today from chapter 2 sexual reproduction in flowering plants we are going to study artificial hybridization, double fertilization process and post-fertilization structure. Artificial hybridization. This mechanism is actually crossing of different species to combine desirable characters to produce commercially superior varieties. Here, the term superior is very important. What do you mean by superior variety? Actually, by hybridization process through desirable character of pollen grain, here the new generation, new variety is developed which is having higher characteristics compared to parental variety. It means that higher yield production, large fruit size, large number of food production, and ultimately it is comparatively superior variety. In this mechanism, main approach is crop improvement program. It is very useful for plant breeders and farmers. This mechanism only desired pollen grains are used for pollination purpose and stigma is protected from contamination or unwanted pollen. Here desired pollen grains. It means that which variety we want to select from same flower anther pollen grains are collected and stigma of flower is protected by unwanted pollens. Means suppose same flower anther it also produce pollen grains and self pollination is possible, but our goal or purpose is not self pollination, that is cross pollination. So that's why stigma is protected from unwanted pollen. Artificial hybridization process is achieved by two techniques. First, emasculation and second, bagging. First, emasculation. What is it? In bisexual flower, both male and female reproductive organs are present. Here, anther is removed before it dehisces using forceps. Now we can understand that why anthers are removed from same flower. Because to prevent self-pollination and achieve artificial hybridization. Second, bagging. After emasculation process, these flowers are covered with a bag which is mainly made up of butter paper to prevent unwanted or contamination pollen. So now it is clear that by emasculation process, first of all, anthers are removed before it dehisces, and after emasculation, same flower is covered with a bag. That's why this process is known as bagging process. After that, when stigma attains receptivity, pollen grains are collected from male parent. After collection of this pollen grains, they are dusted on stigma. After this process, flowers they are rebagged. Through further process, fruits allowed to develop. So ultimately, by this process, actually desired pollen grains are collected, dusted on stigma, again flowers bagged and fruits allowed to develop. Double fertilization process. In flowering plants, fertilization process take place that you know very well. What is fertilization? That is fusion of male and female gamete. Male gamete is N in nature, haploid. Female gamete is also N in nature, haploid. And through fertilization process, zygote is formed, that is diploid, 2N. And through further development, zygote develops embryo and organism. In mostly flowering plants, during this process, 2 times fertilization take place, and that's why it is known as double fertilization. Which are these 2 types? First, syngamy, it means that fusion of male and female gametes, and second, that is triple fusion, which take place in an embryo sac and production of endosperm take place. Through syngamy, pollen tube release 2 male gametes into cytoplasm of synergid. When fertilization process take place, that is syngamy type of fertilization process, of these 2 male gametes, only one gamete, single male gamete, which is haploid N in nature, it moves towards egg cell. As you know, egg cell is also haploid N in nature. Both are fused, syngamy take place. It results into formation of zygote. Here N cross N, it means that zygote is 2N or diploid in nature. Through further development processes, it is result into structure of embryo. So this way, once fertilization process take place, that is known as syngamy. Now second time fertilization process take place. Here the second male gamete is involved. This male gamete is also haploid or N in nature. It moves towards polar nuclei, which is located in central cell of embryo sac. Gamete is N in nature. Polar nuclei 2 fuse, that's why they are 2N in nature. This fertilization results into triploid structure, that is PEN, means primary endosperm nucleus, that is 3N or triploid in nature, because it developed through N haploid gamete and diploid polar nuclei. That's why N cross 2N is equal to 3N, primary endosperm nucleus, 3N in nature. That's why it is known as triple fusion. Through this PEC, primary endosperm cell, develops. Through further development, endosperm is produced. This endosperm is very important for nourishment of developing embryo. So you can see here 2 times fertilization process take place. First syngamy, zygote is formed here, and second triple fusion, at the end of which endosperm develop. And that's why this mechanism in flowering plant is known as double fertilization mechanism. After fertilization process, post fertilization process take place. Post fertilization structures and events. Here which type of structure develops and which events or mechanism observed during this we are going to study. If we talk about main events, post fertilization events, they are mainly endosperm and embryo development, maturation of ovules into seed and ovary into fruit. So collectively all this process it create post fertilization events. First, endosperm. As you know, primary endosperm cell, which is triploid or 3n each nature, it undergo further cell division, that is mitosis. So tissue divides frequently, number of cell division take place. It results into endosperm tissue, again 3n in nature. It is actually reserve food material for developing embryo. So in embryo sac, developing embryo get nutrition or nourishment through this structure, that is endosperm. In flowering plants, two types of endosperms are there. First, free nuclear and second, cellular. First, free nuclear. Here, primary endosperm nucleus undergo further nuclear division. Through this nuclear division, number of free nuclei develop. Second, cellular. In this structure, cell wall formation take place. That's why it is known as cellular development. Here, one interesting example is there, which is very well known to you, that is coconut. In coconut water from tender coconut is example of free nuclear type, and surrounding white kernel which develop cellular structure, that is cellular type of endosperm. So within one fruit, coconut water is free nuclear, and second, white kernel cellular, both are observed. After endosperm development, endosperm completely consumed by the developing embryo in some seeds like pea, groundnut and beans before seed maturation. In some plants, endosperm may persist in the mature seed like castor and coconut and be used up during seed germination. So two types of features are here. Next structure, that is embryo. How does it develop? As you know very well now, through syngamy, male and female gamete, they are fused, zygote formation, diploid structure is formed, that is first cell. Through further cell division, multicellular structure is formed, and that is known as embryo. This embryo is nourished by endosperm, endospermic tissue. Some features of embryo. In embryo sex structure, it develops at micropylar end. Why micropylar end? Because egg cell is present here, which is fertilized by male cell, and embryo develops here. Some adaptations are there when zygote divides after endosperm is formed. If we talk about monocots and dicots in both plants, when embryo development process take place, at that time primary stages, initial stages or early stages, they are similar in both monocots and dicots. Main event take place at the time of embryo development, that is zygote 2n. It is developed into proembryo. After formation of proembryo, globular embryo, then next heart-shaped embryo, and finally at the end of embryo development, mature embryo develops. What is difference between dicote and monocote embryo? In dicote embryo, main parts, main region, dicots means having two cotyledons, they are present here. Embryonal axis is observed. Plumule structure is there. In future, which develops into shoot system. Radical structure in future, which develop into root system. So, in dicote, embryonal axis, presence of two cotyledons, plumule and radical. These are main regions of dicote embryo. Monocote embryo. Here some differences are observed. Monocote, they are having only single cotyledon, one cotyledon. That's why they are known as monocotes. Scutellum structure is observed here, which is not present in dicote embryo. More two structures or regions, coleoptile and coleorhiza is there. Coleotype is protective covering, protective layering surrounding plumule region, and coleorhiza is protective covering or layering surrounding radical region. So this way, in flowering plants, embryo development process take place. Main features, it develops at microplanal end. For development, some adaptations are observed. In monocotes and dicotes, early stages are similar here. If we talk by step development, so first of all, first cell zygote, zygote to proembryo, proembryo to globular structure, globular to heart-shaped structure, and after heart-shaped structure, mature embryo structure develop. In monocote, in dicote, major difference, dicote is having two cotyledons, but monocote is having only single cotyledon. In dicote, main regions are embryonal axis, two cotyledons, plumule and radical, and in monocote, one cotyledon, scutellum, coleoptile and coleorhiza. These structures are observed.